Not anything really specific, only because everybody's path is so different. To being a sideline reporter or an on-air personality or a writer, everybody's experience is really different, and a lot of my mentors has taken several different paths. So there's no right answer in how to get there, and that's probably the main thing that I've been told from my mentors. Like, there's no main route. So any decision that you make really isn't a bad decision, whether you try to go the small network route and, go to the middle of nowhere and be the on-air, the writer, the morning producer. I mean, you're going to have a lot to do because it's more of a small network, but you learn so much there, and that'll probably set you up for a bigger market. Or you can go the big market way and you go and be a production assistant at ESPN or Fox Sports and make your connections, stay there for a few years, and then go to something else, maybe a startup or another network. Or there's really no exact way to do it. So that's probably the main thing that my mentors have all unanimously told me is you need to figure out your own plan, write it down, make it work, and just go that way and never lose sight of your goal, and you'll get there. It is probably the most important thing, only because once you lose your integrity, once you lose that sense of I'm an honest journalist, it's kind of going to spiral downhill for you, because although it may work for you for a little bit, you might have gotten this huge headline and now everybody knows you. But maybe athletes are now not going to feel comfortable talking to you because they know that you lied. Or other journalists will be like, his stories are always false. Like, he just makes up anything that comes to his head. So after a while, it's going to catch up to you. So for me, I mean, being honest, having integrity, really telling a story to the best of your ability with all the facts. That's the most important thing. That's your job as a journalist. The toughest thing I have encountered. It's probably been two things. And the first being when I was in college, I have naturally curly hair. And that was at a time where everybody on air pretty much had straight hair, except for maybe Sage Steele. And I went into an internship, and I was talking to one of the on-air people, and she was like, so do you always wear your hair curly? And I'm like, not always, and not knowing where she was really going with the conversation. And she was like, well, when you get on air, you're going to have to straighten your hair. That's just protocol. No producer's going to want you with curly hair. It's not relatable. And that kind of, after that, I was like, okay. I got a little discouraged, and I was like, well, am I going to change who I am on a day-to-day? Do I have to, I wore my hair straight most of the time anyways. But that was kind of like where I started to be like, okay, this is going to be hard for me, because not that I didn't know I had to keep up with a certain appearance, but just kind of being told straight up about, appearance is everything, and you're going to have to change it depending on what station you work for. That was probably a difficulty for me to even just intake as a 19-year-old. But also just knowing that even if you are qualified for a position, networking and having people know who you are and knowing other people is probably the most important thing. So not being discouraged if I don't get a job, that I was like, I know I could have done that job. And that, maybe somebody else got it because, not that they weren't as deserving or as talented, but definitely networking is the biggest thing. And I had to learn that as well, because I'm coming from a place where, like I said, I lived in a small town, and I didn't know anything about networking when I got to college, as most people don't. But that was probably, networking and like the appearance thing were probably the most difficult things for me to take in, just in general, because I was like, this is the shell shock for me. Just coming from Connecticut and thinking like, you see these people on TV, but you don't really understand that, like, you go through a lot being a reporter or an on-air personality in general. So that's probably been the most difficult thing in my growth, I'll say that. Yeah, so as far as, you know, being outside and being hot and stuff like that, I think my internships really built me up to know what that is like. And you just have to know that if you can't stand in heels for 3 hours, you need to bring flats. And then you put your heels on for the actual interview. Or you definitely need to have your makeup bag somewhere close, or a brush, just if you're gonna be outside. But when I started my first internship, I didn't know that logging was like actually what you do during your internship if you're, you know, at a big network. And anybody who's had like an internship, maybe your sophomore or junior year, and they definitely know about logging, and it is like so tedious. You have to watch a whole game and write down every single thing that happens at the exact time that it happened. And I know I was like, this sucks. I hate this. But it definitely has helped me. It helped me with just being able to do things very quickly. And because sports are so fast, and specifically basketball is faster than, you know, baseball or football, you can catch different things. And now, like, I can live tweet because I did logging forever. And like social media is so important now. So it's an asset that I'm able to write things very quickly or catch quotes very quickly. But yeah, nobody told me about logging. I was like, this is the worst. Definitely confidence. And that's something that I still work on, but it's something that my mom has always instilled in me since I was little. She's always told me to be confident in myself, because if you're not, I mean, nobody's gonna believe in what you're believing in or what you're trying to do. So just being confident and displaying confidence and saying what I wanna say, how I mean it. So yeah, I would just say my confidence level and the way that I present things to people has really helped me to where I'm getting right now. Yeah, some advice I would give is just be yourself, be the most genuine and authentic version of you all the time, and be fearless, because a lot of the time people get stagnant in what they're doing because, well, I'm good at this, so let me just stay here. And not a lot of growth happens with that. You need to be able to be fearless and take chances. And that comes with believing in yourself and being confident, because you can't take a chance if you don't believe in yourself. So yeah, be you, be confident, and always be fearless.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.